there's going to be a large clearing in the trees with two gorgeous views. To your right and forward will be back down to your left and forward, excuse me, will be back down to the Skagway Harbor, and you'll see all those cruise ships in town. After you see that, don't forget to take a look over your left shoulder, and you'll see back down to Denver Glacier Bridge, which we just crossed a mile ago. Rocky Point, you'll see solid walls of granite on either side of your car. Well, when this train was being built, it was one huge slab of granite that took 250 tons of black blasting powder to blast through. That is enough powder to fill 44 of your coach cars today, and it's more than it took to build the entire rest of the 110 miles of track. As we get out of Rocky Point, we'll start to follow a very steep drop-off down on your left-hand side.
Maybe that's 400, I don't know, but it is a long way down. I do not want to fall. I know that there's other places where it's like a 415-foot drop on our bridge, and that looks about similar. So.
To your left and down, you'll soon see Brackett Toll Road. George Brackett was a former mayor of Minneapolis, Minnesota. First of all, the people who got it turning the White Pass into a more functional gateway. It was a big gamble because he couldn't legally do it. He couldn't get a right-of-way, but his gamble did pan out, and at a point he was making $1,000 a day in tolls. But Packers didn't like that. They used to be able to take the road for free, so they tore it down, and eventually he went bankrupt, sold the road to White Pass for $110,000. So after you see Brackett's Toll Road to your left and down, continue to look down left to see the whirlpool section of the Skagway River filled with Class 6 rapids that have never been successfully navigated.
lucky.
Coming up on your left, you can see that large building with the blue roof. That is not an IHOP building, though sometimes I wish it was. No, that's our U.S. Customs building. It's built there instead of 12 miles further up where the summit and border is because of a lack of space at the summit and to avoid some harsh winter weather conditions. And below the Customs building, you can see those 6-foot-tall letters reading "On to Alaska" with Buchanan. This was painted by young boys and girls of the Great Depression in the 1930s in appreciation to George Buchanan, a wealthy coal baron from Michigan who sponsored their trip up here to Alaska by requiring that they earn a third of the cost of their trip. Their parents would put in a third, and Buchanan would pick up the rest of the tab. His hope was that these young kids would learn the value of a dollar, as well as be able to enjoy an adventure they could not otherwise have afforded. One group was so grateful they climbed up that mountain and painted those 6-foot-tall letters, knowing they'd be riding the train the next day. construction. And due to a high turnover rate, a total of 35,000 men worked on making this railway. And of all those men, only 35 died. That was due more to illness than accidents, which is pretty good considering how long that project was in tow, 2 years, 2 months, and 2 days. But coming up is the gravesite of 2 railroad workers who did actually die by tragic accidents. A blast, a 500-ton boulder tumbling down, crushing and instantly killing those 2 workers and their pack mules. No effort was made to recover their bodies, rather a black cross was placed over their gravesite. Michael J. Keeney, foreman of the railroad, said no railroad worker could expect a finer monument than that. So make sure to look down left to see the huge boulder and that black cross commemorating the lives of those 2 railroad workers. there's going to be a large clearing in the trees with a gorgeous view of Bridal Veil Falls. This is a great waterfall fed by Carmack Glacier and falling 5,000 feet to the valley floor. So make sure to look out right, out left, and have your cameras ready for Bridal Veil Falls. section. So on the mountain across from us, you can see a line that looks like a road. That is our railway, and believe it or not, we'll be headed there pretty soon. And you can see that wooden trestle bridge will soon be going over. So we're going to come up to 3 large clearings in which you can get a great view of this high line section. Our sister train heading up, that is the car cross train. So it's quite a little baby train up there. That is a 6-hour one-way from here to Carcross, and so they just leave before all the other trains. They go all the way up there, and then the train stays there overnight, and then comes back the other direction the next day. you've been able to meet Rhiannon or Audrey as they come through the cars. And they're going to be coming through your cars again. This time they're going to carry with them some great souvenirs. So you can see these on the back of your All Aboard magazine if you like. Their only two items they'll have with them are those two items on the very back cover. The first item they'll have is our exclusive white pass cap. This is a black baseball cap with our logo on the front. 2012, the year you rode the train, on the side, and Skagway, Alaska on the back. It fully adjusts with Velcro, so it does fit just about everyone, and it's only sold on the train, so it's proof you rode it today. The other item she'll have with her is our DVD. It's $15. It's a great way to take the tour home with you. It goes over the entire tour you did today, plus quite a bit further, goes all the way up to Car Cross, so you see some things that not in this excursion. Have great footage of the train, our rotary snowplow, wildlife, historical footage. It's 105 minutes long. So the hat is $10, the DVD is $15, but when you buy them both together, it's an even $20. So quite the steal. And if you want any of these items as they come through, let them know. They accept American cash and traveler's checks. And they'll only be coming through once. They only have time to come through once. So do have your minds prepared when they come through the cars. Coming up to Glacier Station at milepost 14, and you'll get a nice view of the train as it curves to your left going over the Skagway River. Before that though, we're going to be making a quick stop. We're going to let off a few more hikers. Again, this is a pre-arranged tour, and so you need to remain on the train while we just let these few people off. And then we'll be continuing on our way the rest of the way up the mountain after we've let these few people off. So just sit tight and we'll continue on our way not too long.